Hi everyone, this is Phil Travis, and this is History 202 here at EOU. It's week 7. This week we are reading from our main textbook, Give Me Liberty. We're reading chapter 22. This is on World War II. We also have a special document reading assignment on FDR and the Four Freedoms, and we're going to look at, from the standpoint of ideals, what FDR believes World War II should be about at its core. And hopefully we'll have some good discussion on this week. So we have a great discussion for him this week. Chapter 22 from our main textbook. Read the document on FDR and the Four Freedoms. We have a test this week. Test number 2. So remember also, next week, at the end of next week, your second paper option will be due. And anyone who didn't do the first paper option, I strongly recommend you do the second. You do still have a third option, but I would say it's generally probably a mistake to wait until the last chance to do your one option on the paper. Do it early. That way, if you don't do as well as you can always get in there and make that up. So, so we have a test this week. Second test covers all the material covered since the last test until this test. There's a study guide up. I pull the test questions right off of that study guide. The test is is exactly the same format as the last one, so shouldn't be any surprise there. Again, I pull those test questions right off of the study guide, off of those terms on the study guide. So if you go through the study guide and you really learn those terms, you'll be really well prepared for the test. When you take the test, of course, you can use your book, but I recommend fill out that study guide during the week, make really good notes on it, and it'll be a go-to when you take the test. You'll already have a lot of the sort of answers out there already. Okay, factoid for this week. Remember to get your extra point for this week. It's added to one of the tests at the end of the term. Go to the extra credit discussion board. Make your factoid post no later than Wednesday by midnight. This week's factoid is this. I like this factoid, so there might be one or two of you that have taken a previous class of mine that I used this factoid, but I like this factoid, so I'm going to use it again. The one and only case, in the first case, where a foreign power actually bombed the United States was actually in 1943, when a Japanese seaplane was launched from a Japanese U-boat and actually flew over the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, out of an attempt to bomb Mount Emily. Now, not the Mount Emily in La Grande. There's another Mount Emily down in southwestern Oregon. But anyway, so it's not to be confused with the La Grande Mount Emily. But it was in 1943 that a Japanese seaplane launched an air attack on the mountain pass around southwestern Oregon, dropping incendiary devices on the forests. Incendiary devices meaning weapons that are designed to create fire. And so the idea with this, rather futile and, rarely remembered and insignificant attack, the idea that the Japanese pilot had was that it would start massive forest fires, and the massive forest fires would cause havoc and create, a problem on the west coast of the United States. So it was an inconsequential effort, but the first aerial bombardment, if you will, of any part of the continental United States, of course, we're not including Pearl Harbor here. The first aerial bombardment of the continental United States was when a Japanese seaplane in 1943 flew over the pass near Mount Emily in southwestern Oregon, dropping incendiary devices, hoping to start massive forest fires. There were some fires started, but ultimately it was of an inconsequential nature. Okay, guys, go to the extra credit discussion board, make that post, get your extra point. Let's have a great week.